Alright, what is up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris and today I'm back with another video here. Flyers lose 3-2 to the New York Islanders. The 5-game winning streak is snapped. Not ideal, obviously. You want to win, right? But I thought there were some good moments in this game. Some not so good moments. As for the overall game tonight, I didn't think the Flyers played bad. I thought they had a good second period. It took them a little bit to get into it. But any game against the Islanders is boring, because if the Islanders didn't have Ilya Sorokin, they would suck. And even with Sorokin, they're not that good of a team. But if they didn't have him, they would be one of the worst teams in the NHL, and I would stand by that a million times. It is so unbelievably boring watching a game against the New York Islanders, or any game the New York Islanders play. I personally don't like them. I never have. First Flyers game I ever went to when I was a kid, it was against the Islanders, and the Flyers lost in a shootout. So I've hated them ever since that day, and I continue to hate them until now. So anyway, as my personal rant's over, again, like I said, this one had some good moments for the Flyers, some not so good ones. Look, Stahl comes back in. I thought that pairing was They were iffy. There were some moments where I was like, whoa, especially the first goal for the Islanders, but lines in pairs in this one for the Flyers. Forster, Couturier, Konechny, Tippett, Lawton, Atkinson, Farabee with Paling and Brink, and then Delorier with Cates and Hathaway. That kind of changed a little bit. York with Sanheim, Sealer with Walker, Stahl with Zamula, Carter Hart in net. Stahl's first game since the home opener, October 17th, and a 2-0 win against Vancouver. Belpedio out. And then the Flyers, they're 1-7-2 in their last 10 against the Islanders. So you can make that 1-8-1. And they are 0-4 against them at UBS Arena and make that 0-5. So Lee scores like a minute 20-something in, slam dunk in front. Really at the side of the net, honestly, it was more of like a jam play where he just stuck his very long stick, bam, slammed it right by Hart. Hart didn't have the best angle. Saul turned it over. Zamula had horrible positioning on it. Z has had some really good moments and some really bad moments. There has no been in between. There's been games where Zamula looks great, games where he genuinely can make a lot of solid plays, getting the puck out, stretching the ice, good gap reads, good defensive, reads and plays, what have you. And then there's games where he does plays like that, where he doesn't use his body enough type of thing, like kind of like Sanheim a little bit sometimes. And not Sanheim this year. Like, this has just been a thing I've noticed. York had a shot on net. Brink had a chance in front before that, but was checked. The Islanders, in the first couple of minutes, the Islanders are just very, like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like the Flyers can never get anything high quality against the Islanders. Everything is to the outside, to the perimeter. Like, you're looking for a lane. You're looking for a stick to find. Like, it just feels like every time they play the Islanders, especially in this building, it's like so hard for them to score. I don't understand why. And part of it's because the way that they play against, or really the way the Islanders play, and B, they have Sorokin. Like, those are the answers, obviously, but it's just frustrating. Farabee and Lee go at it. There's a penalty. It's a rough on Farabee. Hart had a really nice save on Horvat. Pretty aggressive. Almost had a shorthanded break. They killed that one off. Fourth line had most of the offensive zone time in that period. Coots had a pass to Konechny. Almost scored there. After the TV timeout, Forster made a really nice pass in front for Coots. He tipped it. It was a great save by Sorokin. I thought the last couple of minutes were better for the Flyers, and then in the second period, Zamula had a really bad play on a 2-on-1. Stahl recovered for him. Tippett draws a penalty. Tippett takes a penalty. Flyers get a power play. I have it in here as New York Islanders power play. That's me being dumb. Tippett draws a penalty. Flyers get the power play. Really didn't do much with that. It just felt like they were looking for the perfect play for most of the second period. And it wasn't that I thought they played bad. I thought they created a lot of plays down low. They thought they used their points a lot. Because you kind of have to against the Islanders. Like, they're a team that they defensively, they really cover hard. They don't really give you a lot of room to do anything. They forecheck. They block a ton of shots. And the Flyers have done that for a while now. since really the Torts era started. But the Islanders blocked 26 tonight. Flyers had 35 shots on net. They later in the third period they put it up there. 76 shot attempts. There was around like a minute or two left, so there's probably close to 80 or over 80 for shot attempts tonight. And again, like I said, like it's just frustrating because again, you have a lot of plays where, I mean, you outshoot the Islanders 13-4 in the third period, 14-12 in the second, and you still can't only lose this game by one. It's just frustrating because the Islanders are just one of those teams where this is like their bread and butter, that type of win where like they win the very boring low scorer game, and that's what it always is against the Flyers. Like for some reason since like 2020, we have not been able to beat this team, and I don't understand why. Again, second period, Flyers had some chances. Then the Islanders have a long shift, 2-0. Nelson scores. Just puck watching, kind of tough play, like extended in the offensive zone, tips it like 8 feet out front of Hart, goes in, 2-0. But again, the Flyers have done a really good job this year of responding. They get the goal. Cam York scores. That's his second in as many games. He got robbed on the first play. Spins a little backhand shot. And that's what I love about York, too. Like, he hasn't had the best start to the season. Not that he's played bad. I think he's just been kind of behind the Walker and Sanheim shadow that no one's really talked about him. And he ends up getting one here. Again, like I said, his second in as many games. He had the empty netter last game against Columbus. Flyers had a lot of chances. Again, use their points. If they kept playing that way, they could have won this game, but they have a breakdown early in the third, 3-1. Nelson scores again. He had 2 goals in this one for the Islanders. And, yeah, it's just frustrating because Delorier, you watch the play, Delorier looks at Nelson, looks away. Nelson goes to the net. Delorier skates the other way. Pass over, slam dunk. Hart's just sitting there like, what do I do? Yeah, it was a bad play, and they get stuck in the own zone. And Flyers had a good shift after that from the top line. Again, the response, I've talked about that all year, where they've been able to get some sort of momentum shift and be able to come right back when something bad happens. They haven't done that in these past couple of years. That's why I keep honing on it all the time. Then Cates comes out, right? Try to get him a little more into it offensively, right? He gets moved up to the third line. And he ends up kind of, switching around in some lines and stuff like that. Goes with Farabee and Brink. And then he runs into his own defenseman, and then the Flyers have a 3-on-1 the other, or the Islanders have a 3-on-1 the other way, and they ended up not really getting any great scoring chance off. It kind of went through the crease the other way. It wasn't anything too crazy than what a 3-on-1 normally could look like and be in the back of your net. But I'm just like I really don't know what to say about Cates at this point. I mean, he's done absolutely nothing offensively. He's been good on D. I don't think he's been great. But am I worried? No. I think I just want him to get more involved offensively. Like Forrester, even Forrester, like and again, I talked about this with Bill Meltzer on Flyers warm-up. Like there's times with Forrester where he makes a lot of the little plays, but I'm still not seeing that same guy from last year where he's able to make that next play and score. Like, he's just not scoring right now. And that's the thing. Like, he's doing all the little things, but, like, how long can you do all the little things before it's like, all right, you got to start scoring? Like, he's been doing that for, 10 games now? 12 games? Something like that? I mean, I just don't really understand where that's going to come from. Atkinson gets stoned by Sorokin. Cates and Farabee, they had a good chance in tight. As, again, like I said, they were kind of used on that line. Flyers got goalied in this game. Hart almost gives up a goal by himself. Farabee would score. It was a really nice play by Brink. And what I've liked about Brink this year has been he's been able to slow down in the offensive zone and slow the game down a bit. Like Kevin Hayes used to do that a lot, where he was really slow in his movement and slow things down and create some offense. Sometimes it would work for him, sometimes work against him, whatever. But Brink did that on this play. Like if you watch it again, like he had like a lot of time where some guys would just throw that puck and then or drop it back to the point or something. Well, obviously, Brink was the only one really there, but he slows it down, picks his head up, has some time, threads the needle right to Farabee. It's a beautiful pass right on the tape. 3-2, the Flyers are in it again, and it was a big hit by Hathaway that set it up too. And I mean, as for My flyer of the night, obviously I picked Farabee. He does score. It wasn't even really the goal. Like, I thought Joel had a good game to begin with. I think he's had a good season overall. I noticed him a few times. I liked what he did with Lee sticking up for himself and all that too. Like, I thought he had a pretty solid game, but it's frustrating in a game like this because you could have won. The Islanders aren't a great team. They're very boring to watch. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Thanks everybody again for all the support as always. Let me know your guys' thoughts below after tonight's 3-2 loss to the New York Islanders. Recording episode 2 of Four Fly Guys podcast in a little bit. Yeah, check that out when we post that. Have a happy Thanksgiving to everyone who celebrates. I'm very thankful for everything that you all do for me on this channel, and watching this video right now gets me nowhere to where I am right now. So I really, really do appreciate that. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Yeah, thanks everybody again. My name is Chris, and I will talk to you all again soon.